This is the Dream SMP Prisonbreak Speedrun. The prison has been described as inescapable, impenetrable, and totally not built out of duped obsidian.
I came up with a method of obtaining obsidian.
I
may or may not be bending the rules. Let's just say that.
So how does one go about breaking into such a prison? Well, the first step is to build a perfect replica. Like this one right here. Painstakingly recreated, in block-perfect format, in a months-long process, on the Dream SMP server seed. Why didn't I just download the approximate version from Planet Minecraft? Because it turns out there are several major security flaws that only show up when you recreate it exactly. The prison has numerous security features, 3 thick obsidian walls to keep the attackers out, a pair of linked nether portals to remove the need for doors, and a giant red subscribe button to distract Technoblade.
What is this garbage? What is this garbage, I ask you? Alright, we're taking this down. This is actually more difficult than I expected. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
The prison also has several other important security features to stop any attempts to break in. There are multiple Elder Guardians housed throughout the interior of the prison to apply Mining Fatigue 3 to anyone nearby, making it take hours to mine through the exterior walls, even using an Efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe. The solitary confinement cell has an additional 7 layers of obsidian interspersed with water to make the prison impervious to withers. And on top of all that, the prison has up to 4 guards equipped with full enchanted netherite armor and potion buffs that can be summoned the instant the prison's alarm is tripped. Now that sounds pretty impressive, but there is one more vital security feature, so important that forgetting about it would mean certain doom for any escape plan: the netherite gate. Now you might be wondering, Yorm, how is that the most important part? Isn't it like literally anything else? No, wrong. Without the gate, a prisoner could simply walk out of the solitary confinement cell, like Mythrodak TV did when he escaped the prison.
Going to make sure that this prison is in maximum security mode for extra difficulty. All doors locked.
It's a lot less difficult to break out when the door is left open. So it seems the prison is actually pretty inescapable. How are we going to go about breaking in? Well, some people have suggested ender pearl stasis chambers as an escape method. And those people are wrong. You see, despite ender pearls lasting through death if the chunk they're in is unloaded, allowing them to be used even after being killed in the manual search rooms of the prison, they also cause 2.5 hearts of damage on use. Meaning if one were to keep the prisoner below 2.5 hearts of health, using a stasis chamber would instantly kill them, causing them to respawn at their bed trap within the prison. And more importantly, we know that this was taken into consideration in the initial design of the prison. Have you ever wondered why visitors are poisoned and reduced to half a heart of health before entering the high security area of the prison? It doesn't seem to make sense. The visitors have no armor. They could already be killed instantly by the heavily armed guards. And the reason is to ensure the visitor can't stasis chamber out in the event of a security breach, which makes the fact that the poison dispenser was conveniently out of commission during Technoblade's visit very suspicious.
Go ahead and walk into the little 2x1 area there.
Is something supposed to happen?
Interesting.
This is kind of awkward, I'm not gonna lie.
It is. That's alright. You can go in through the water.
Alright.
This also leads us to the first major security flaw in the prison: feeding the prisoner. If the prisoner has food, they can't be kept below 2.5 hearts. Their health will simply regenerate. So if stasis chambers don't work, how are we supposed to get in? We can't mine into the prison. The Elder Guardians would make it take hours. And we can't kill the Elder Guardians. We don't even know where they are. Or do we? It turns out we do. You see, Minecraft's rendering code draws entities before blocks each tick. Now, normally that doesn't matter because the blocks from the previous tick are still drawn on screen. But if one were to clear the render buffer, like say when zoning into the overworld from the nether, they would have a few frames of X-ray vision for all entities, such as Elder Guardians, which we can see here, here, and here from all the prison visit streams. This also tells us what's in the top secret room at the end of one of the guard hallways.
So if you guys want to go take a peek down there, you can. Oh, wait a second. Very top secret though, don't leak.
It's an Elder Guardian at the bottom of a 21 block wide cylinder. How do I know that? Math and camera angles. But Yorm! Just because we know where they are doesn't mean we can kill them. They're still inside the prison. You're right. But what if there were a way to kill mobs remotely without being able to see them? Well, there is. It's called an ocean conduit. And when fully powered, it damages all mobs in water within 6 blocks of the exterior prismarine shell necessary to power the ocean conduit. And since Elder Guardians don't actually run away from active ocean conduits, we just need the bottom of their tank to be within 6 blocks of the prison exterior, like this one. This brings us to the second major security flaw in the prison: letting fish breathe. If the Elder Guardians weren't in water, the ocean conduit would be harmless. So how long does it actually take to kill one? About 2 minutes. But Yorm, the thumbnail says 30 seconds. Yeah, I know, because we're not doing it this way. There's a way faster method. withers. You see, when most people think of wither block destruction mechanics, they think of the blue wither skull, which can destroy any destructible block on impact. And this is normally protected against with a layer of water in front of the obsidian. The wither skull hits the water, destroys it, and then the water is quickly replaced as the surrounding water flows back into the hole, leaving the obsidian behind it unscathed. But this isn't the only method of wither block destruction. There's another much rarer method that was put into the game to prevent the degenerate kill strat of suffocating withers. Exactly 1 second after taking damage, a wither will destroy all destructible blocks intersecting its hitbox. Now, normally, this method isn't that useful, as the game's physics engine tends to push mobs out of blocks, but what if there were a way to get around the physics engine, to knock a wither back into the wall? Well, there is. It's the Knockback 2 enchantment, and it will ensure the wither is as far into the wall as possible, destroying a 2x3 or 3x4 section of the wall, depending on the wither's hitbox alignment. But SeenSven said withers didn't work to break through prison walls. It took him half an hour to break through with one. I know, it's because there's one more critical piece of information necessary to properly use a wither wrecking ball, and that is a deeper understanding of the wither AI. You see, above half health, the wither AI will attempt to stay at least 5 blocks above its current target at all times, and will cancel all downwards velocity if it is ever knocked below that 5 block height. But below half health, the wither only attempts to remain at least 0 blocks above its current target. It'll just try and stay above level with you, allowing it to be controlled and lined up to get hit into the prison walls without getting lost in the water layers in between the obsidian. This also explains the erratic behavior and movement seen in other videos. The wither is skidding along the roof trying to move upwards because they used a full health wither. So now we could theoretically break through 10 layers of obsidian in as little as 10 seconds. But is this really fast enough? No, of course not. If there's one thing you should have learned so far in this video, it's that it's never fast enough. You see, the wither block destruction mechanic is tracked on a per wither basis, meaning if one were to have multiple withers, they could break through that many times faster.
I have been working on just a little hobby, Tommy. Just a little hobby. Welcome home, Theseus! Oh, we're gonna do so much violence!
So is that what we're gonna do for the speedrun? Oh god, no. Because Budget Technoblade here can't hold wither aggro to save his life. Multiple withers are too difficult to control with one person. But if the Syndicate were to attempt to break in, they could easily utilize multiple withers. So we only have 2 things left to consider for breaking into the prison: how to handle the guards and how to escape. Escaping is the easy part. See, when Awesamdude added crying obsidian to the cell to prevent forming nether portals inside of it, he conveniently left this spot right here, which can be turned into an escape portal by adding 5 obsidian, like this. So now all we have to deal with are the heavily armed guards, who could easily kill the prisoner before we ever escaped. Or at least we would, if it weren't for the final major flaw in the prison's design: having an alarm system. You see, the prison's alarm system is designed to summon the guards from anywhere on the server via interpearl stasis chambers if it is ever triggered, but due to the location of the guard room and the time needed to respawn and go through the automatic equipment dispensers, it takes approximately 25 seconds for the guards to even enter crossbow range of the main cell after the alarm is tripped, by which point we'll already be out of the prison. And since the guards need to keep their stasis chambers active while inside the prison, the alarm will still summon them to the guard room when the alarm is tripped, moving them farther away from the prisoner, even if they were sitting right in front of the solitary confinement cell. So now that we have all the information we need and every eventuality accounted for, it's time to actually speedrun this prison break. But first we need to establish some rules for the speedrun. 1. The speedrun timer will begin the instant the exterior wall is destroyed, as that is what triggers the prison alarm system. And 2, we'll be ignoring the 30 seconds necessary to construct the assault platform and bring our pre-prepared wrecking ball in from Snowchester, as the guards don't actually patrol the exterior of the prison. And why would they? They think it's invulnerable. And that's how you break in to the ultimate prison in under 30 seconds. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe below, and join me next time when I build a true ultimate prison. One that could even imprison a god.